Hello students, myself Saurabh Palekar, biology faculty from JNQ College. In today's practical, we are going to study the external morphology of animals. So in this third part of this experiment, we'll be studying the different classes under the phylum Chordata. Okay? So let us study the specimens one by one. Moving on to the first specimen is Scoliodon species, okay, also called as a shark. Looking at its scientific position or systematic position, it belongs to kingdom Animalia, the phylum Chordata, class Pisces, then subclass Chondrichthyes. The term Chondrichthyes is derived from chondron, means cartilage. The type specimen is Scoliodon species, also called as shark. So this is the image of the shark in a fresh condition. But whereas this is an image of the shark or a Scoliodon in a fixed, when it is inserted in a fixative. Okay. Now moving on to its characteristics. These sharks, they are marine fish. That is, Scoliodon is a marine. They have an elongated body and body is streamlined, whereas the body is dorsoventrally flattened. Dorsal means upper part, ventral means lower part. So both upper and lower part, they have been flattened. Okay. So the body is covered with a minute placoid scales, which can be felt when the skin is rubbed from the tail to snout. So when you rub your hand from the tail region to the snout region, you will find some coarseness or roughness on the skin. So those are because of very minute, small placoid scales which are present on them. Then the body is divided into a head. So this is a head region, then a trunk and a tail part. Clear? So the head region shows a pair of eyes. Okay. So a pair of nostrils are present. Then a ventral mouth is present. That means towards the lower side. And 5 pairs of lateral gills are going to be present. So the tail, if you observe, the tail is elongated with heterocercal caudal tail. Heterocercal caudal fin. So heterocircle refers to irregular shape or you can say unequal tail. Yeah. Then the trunk. Okay, the trunk consists of unpaired dorsal fin. So this is a dorsal fin. One is larger, another is smaller. So unpaired dorsal fin, and the caudal fin are paired. Okay, so the pectoral and pelvic fins. So these pectoral and pelvic fins which are present, they are going to be paired. So 5 pairs of gill slits, they are going to be present laterally between the pectoral fin and the mouth region. Yeah. So this completes the Scoliodon species characters. Then moving on to the next specimen called as Labiorhoeta, commonly called as rohu. So this is also one of the most economically utilized fish. Okay, and they are freshwater fish. So this is a specimen how when it has been added into the fixative. So let us move on to its systematic position. It belongs to kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Pisces, subclass Osteichthyes. Osteichthyes because its endoskeleton is made of bone. The type specimen is Labiorhoeta, commonly called as rohu. The characters, if you observe, the rohu is a bony fish found in freshwater. It has a streamlined body and laterally compressed. Okay, so laterally means they are compressed sideways. The body is divided into a head, the trunk, and a tail. And the tail is homocercal caudal tail. Okay, the head possesses the terminal mouth, a paired eyes, a paired nostrils, and 4 pairs of gills. So here you will find 4 pairs of gill, which is covered by a gill cover called as an operculum. Clear? The mouth is transverse opening near the tip of the snout. So this is a snout region. So at the tip region, you are going to find a mouth with a transverse opening, which has a fleshy lips. The unpaired fins include a dorsal fin and a caudal fin and an anal fin. So these are the unpaired fins. Then the pelvic and pectoral fins are paired. So this is the pelvic and this is the pectoral fins, and they are going to be paired. Yeah. So moving on to the next specimen is Rana tigrina, also called as frog. So this belongs to a little higher class. So moving on to its systematic position, it belongs to kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Amphibia, and type specimen is Rana tigrina. The term amphibia is derived because this organism requires both water and water and land for its completion of its life cycle. Okay, so its egg discharge as well as the larval stage, that is what we call as tadpoles. This stage compulsory requires a water medium, but when it forms adult, it can survive both in water as well as on the land medium. Okay, so they exhibit the transition between the land and the water, hence called as amphibians. Okay, so looking at its characters, okay, so if you observe the specimens under the formaldehyde, okay, when they are fixed, okay, they appear in this manner. So the color gets disappeared and it appears like this. So the body consists of head and trunk. Okay, so it doesn't have a neck, so neck is absent here. The head consists of external nasal opening. So this is a external nasal opening. Then a bulged eye is present. So this is a bulged eye, and this bulged eye is going to be covered with a nictitating membrane. Okay. So apart from this, it also has a tympanic membrane. Okay. So tympanic membrane is meant for hearing. Yeah. So this is a tympanic membrane in the amphibians. The skin, it is moist and slimy. Okay, especially it is helpful in regular body maintenance of its body when it is present on the land, and when it is present inside the water, it helps in exchange of gases. Okay, that is a part of respiration. Then the mouth is terminal. Okay, having protrusible bifid tongue. The forelimbs, that is the front limb, that is forelimbs, are smaller than the hind limbs. Because the hind limbs is meant for locomotion, for a jumping purpose. The forelimbs is going to have 4 digits, okay, and whereas the hind limbs have 5 digits, and these 5 digits are clawed. Okay, you also find this hind digits to have interdigital web-like membrane. So that means there is a membrane between the digits, okay, web-like membrane. Hence, this type of feet is also called as a web feet. So they have been swimming, these frogs, inside the water medium. Yeah. So the next specimen is Calotis versicolor, also called as a garden lizard. Looking at its systematic position, it belongs to kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, subphylum Vertebrata, class Reptilia, and type specimen Calotis versicolor, also called as garden lizard. So this Calotis, it's a creeping terrestrial animal. Okay, the body is dry, okay, and is divided into head, neck, trunk, and a long elongated tail. The body is covered with a rough epidermal scales. The head is triangular with a cone-shaped snout, having a wide mouth. So the mouth extends from here to the other end. Okay, the mouth is very wide. Okay, the paired nostrils and the eyes are present on the head. The 2 pairs of pentadactyl limbs, okay, the digits are clawed. So that means there are 4 limbs which are present. Okay, all the 4 of the limbs, they are having 5 digits, hence the term pentadactyl, and all of them are going to have a claws. The skin provides the animal with protective coloration in its environment. Clear? So this is a peculiar characteristics of Calotis versicolor. Then the next specimen, that is a higher class of birds, that is the aves. The type specimen is Columbia livia, also called as pigeon. The scientific name is Columbianivia. The systematic position is it belongs to kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, subphylum Vertebrata, and the class is Aves. The characteristics: the pigeon is adapted to aerial mode of life and having cosmopolitan distribution. That means they are found everywhere in most major part of this planet. The body is covered with feathers. Okay, they have a streamlined body divided into divisible into a head, neck, and a trunk region. Okay, the eyes are provided with moving eyelids and a nictitating membrane. The forelimbs are modified into 2 wings. Okay, for flight. Okay, the hind limbs they have 4 clawed digits. Okay, and the hind limbs are meant for perching purpose. Okay, for landing purpose or for grabbing anything. Then the endoskeleton. Okay, that is internal skeletal system. It is made up of bones and which are pneumatic. Pneumatic means they are hollow bones. So because of these hollow bones, they have the ability to fly in the air. Okay, because of this, they have a less bone density. So this is the peculiar characteristics of Columbianivia, also called as a pigeon. Then the last specimen, okay, it is nothing but a rabbit. The scientific name is called Oryctolagus lagomorpha. Okay, the type specimen Oryctolagus lagomorpha has a systematic position as the kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, subphylum Vertebrata, class Mammalia, and type specimen is Oryctolagus lagomorpha. Characters: the rabbit is a burrowing animal. Okay, so it lives in a burrows. Okay, then the body is covered with hair and is divided into head, the neck, the trunk, and a small tail. Okay, so the head possesses a blunt snout. So the snout is blunt, paired eyes. Okay, and a pair of external ears. Okay, so few prominent and stiff hairs are present laterally on the upper lip of this mouth. Okay, so these are going to be called as vibrissae or whiskers. Okay, so these organisms are viviparous. Viviparous means the young, they are not egg laying, they are going to give birth to a young ones. Clear? So till the previous classes you have observed, they are nothing but oviparous animals. Oviparous means they are egg laying, but this one is, the mammals are viviparous. That means they are going to give birth to young ones. So now the tail is short, slightly upwardly directed, and it is furry. So this is a peculiar characteristic of class Mammalia. Type specimen is Oryctolagus lagomorpha. So this completes your practical study of external morphology in animals. Thank you.